obviously a lot of things have happened over the past 4 or 5 days here, right? We had Hillary Clinton on Thursday, was it? Friday, I guess, giving a speech, which apparently she'd given before, saying that half of Trump's supporters are in a basket of deplorables. Apparently the issue is that she said half because she didn't have the exact data points to show that it was half. I think it's actually probably closer to 51%. But nevertheless, Paul Ryan said that she should be ashamed. Now, I got into a big Twitter fight with some, I think, some writers from the National Review Online who are trying to argue that Donald Trump is not the Republican Party, and that Paul Ryan has definitely criticized Donald Trump in the same way. But the fact is, no. Paul Ryan has not criticized Donald Trump in the same way. Paul Ryan has distanced himself from Donald Trump's comments, has critiqued and criticized some of Donald Trump's comments. I'm being generous there because he's really maybe more characterized them as being racist. I don't know if he said racism bad, but I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt that that was the point in raising that issue. But he never once has criticized the person who continually utters these things. And in fact, 2 days before, maybe the day before, he came out and said Hillary Clinton should be ashamed of herself. Paul Ryan, when asked about, I think it was the comments from the commander-in-chief thing, maybe it was that morning, when asked about the commander-in-chief thing, said, look, I'm not a pundit. I'm not going to get involved in this tit for tat. I'm not going to give you any comment on what Donald Trump said. That's not what I'm doing. I'm not a political pundit. And then apparently he changed his profession 24 hours later. And the fact is that there are Republicans who would have you believe that Donald Trump just materialized. He just descended down at the right moment, slid in somehow into the electoral process, and was nominated and then named the Republican nominee by virtue of some type of mind-altering, probably ray gun coming from perhaps a satellite or a ship, maybe just airplanes flying over, all bankrolled by George Soros. And as if the Republican Party was not nurturing for literally 6 years the idea that maybe 8 years that Barack Obama was not an American citizen, to the point where John Boehner said, it's not my job to tell my caucus members not to raise a bill suggesting that Barack Obama is not American. It's not my job, said all the 2012 Republican nominees, to not go and kiss Donald Trump's ring because he was the birther in chief. Donald Trump is the Republican Party. And if anybody from the National Review Online wants to even comment on that question, the first thing they should do is send a thank you note to Hillary Clinton for running a campaign which, frankly, I totally disagree with. Trying to give an off-ramp, as I think Rick Perlstein calls it, for all those Republicans to say that they're not affiliated with Donald Trump. But none of those electeds, let's be generous, maybe a handful, as defined by 5 of all the elected Republicans, federal elected Republicans, have distanced themselves, have said they don't support Donald Trump. Maybe 5, maybe, probably 3. Maybe 5 if you include people who are retiring. So give me a break. Donald Trump is the Republican Party. And it does make a difference whether or not you criticize someone or Sort of just like keep them at arm's length. And as an example of that, Mike Pence was asked if he would say, because, there's very little people, very few reporters who are actually questioning whether or not, like, oh, did Hillary Clinton say something that wasn't true? I mean, we can argue as to whether or not, virulent racists, xenophobes, nationalists, Islamophobes, whether they're deplorable or just reprehensible, okay? But he was asked, Mike Pence, would you call David Duke deplorable? Would you call him deplorable? And Mike Pence had this to say.
And the simple fact is that I'm not in the name-calling business. My colleagues in the House of Representatives know that I believe that civility is essential in a vibrant democracy, and it's just never been my practice.
Now, he's so wedded to that idea of civility being essential for a vibrant practice that he said yes to the least civil presidential nominee that we've had, at least in modern times. So civil that I remember when Mike Pence was the first guy to come out after that State of the Union address, where one of his colleagues yelled, "You lie," to Barack Obama. I remember when Mike Pence, no, I don't remember that. But what difference does it make? Because I know Mike Pence said, we don't want his support. I reject his support. We don't need his support. I don't like his support. I'm exaggerating. I'm actually helping Mike Pence out here. He can get away with us for his support. I hope he doesn't vote for us. What's the difference? I mean, what am I suggesting here? That in some way, by saying that he won't criticize the man directly, that he won't name David Duke and call David Duke deplorable, that it's what? Somehow sending some signal to David Duke that, oh, well, Mike Pence has got to say that he doesn't want our support. That's all well and good, but he's not criticizing us. He's still on Team David Duke. Was that what I'm implying? That would involve David Duke saying something on his radio show today like this.
And the whole idea that they were trying to make Pence, call me names, basically, and he didn't bite on that. It was a real positive thing for all of us.
Yeah, I wonder when David Duke talks about all of us, if he's really, like, who's included in that us?
Jewish people, black people, Guatemalans, I would assume.
Oh, yes. No, the whole melting pot.
The mosaic of America benefits from Mike Pence not calling David Duke deplorable.
If you think Mike Pence and the rest of them, and that goes for Paul Ryan when Paul Ryan won't criticize Donald Trump, right? It's the same dynamic. They know there's a difference. Mike Pence knows there's a difference. Bannon over at Breitbart White Nationalism knows there's a difference. And David Duke knows there's a difference.
Can we do the thought experiment of, Obama not categorically condemning Louis Farrakhan?
I disagree with his comments.
Yeah. I'm not in the business of condemning people.
Exactly.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
We need to bring her. That's a good signal for everyone.
Everyone. Even the white devil.
Even the Jewish bloodsuckers and the Korean slanted eyes who rob our cities. It's positive all the way around.
Now it's time for a kumbaya moment.
What would be the equivalent with Hillary? Like some obscure, college professor that wants to, castrate men or something that she didn't condemn?
Like DuPont?
Yeah. Or this Mary Daly or something.
I'm
It's just so
totally against
ridiculous.
castration, but I don't,
I don't want. I think she. I don't want to. I don't want to divide us.
I don't want to
further.
cast any aspersions upon people.
And by the way, I think Louis Farrakhan is much more admirable than David Duke. You're picking.
At least
from
he's
the
done
womb.
some
At least
work
he's-
in the community.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey folks, Sam Seder here. I just got back from a company-wide meeting. Accounting is really coming down on me hard. We need to get to 100,000 subscribers as soon as possible. So please enjoy this channel. Subscribe right down there.